first story is titled, Am I the a-hole for telling my brother his problems are not my problem? I, 30 female, have a brother, 33 male, and we grew up close. Our relationship hit a low point when he started dating my former school bully. It wasn't so much that I don't think people can grow and change, but when he told me regardless of what had happened or what she was like, he loved her and I had to deal with it, and that was it. And I gave it a shot because I love my brother and didn't want to cause any drama in the family, but she hadn't grown all that much. And then when I got engaged to my husband, she made a big deal out of needing to be my maid of honor, and it drove me crazy. She never apologized, yet acted like she was entitled to the role and attempted to make our wedding about her. For example, tell me what flowers she wanted, calling my choices dumb, saying I needed a dress that would hide parts of my body, what food she wanted, what color dress she wanted, telling me I needed to let her plan XYZ, and saying I wasn't allowed to have my best friend at the wedding party. I put my foot down and said she wasn't going to be my maid of honor, and I told her she couldn't bully me to get what she wanted like she could when we were kids. She thought I was being really extreme, and my brother told me I was a witch for not leaving the past in the past. They ended up not coming to my wedding. He didn't invite me to theirs, and we have been out of each other's lives ever since. I never met his kids, and he never met mine. It broke our parents' hearts, and it was hard at first. They struggled with their kids not having a relationship, and they struggled with the family being very divided, especially when grandkids came along, but they adjusted. When COVID hit, it hit my brother and his family hard, and the troubles just seemed to keep coming. He started a GoFundMe at some point, and when that failed and he exhausted all the help our parents could give, he reached out to me. At first, he said he wanted to make amends, but then the very next day of making amends, he asked me for money and babysitting. I told him no. He said he and his wife were having a lot of financial problems, and that I owed it to him and his family, that family should help each other when they have problems, and he would do it for me. I told him that his problems were not my problems, and whatever help he would have gotten from me ended when he let his wife treat me like crap and then called me a witch for standing up for myself. Some of the extended family are now saying I'm an a-hole, and I should help my brother no matter what issues we have between us, etc., etc. Part of me wonders if I should help. The other part of me is saying he doesn't deserve anything from me. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. He only wants to use you. Can't agree more. He just wants to use you for money and babysitting. Not the a-hole. He is only apologizing to get help from you. That isn't sincere or real. Now, you could decide to give him some cash to help him out in the spirit of family, but understand that you will never be paid back, and that his wife will continue to treat you badly. If your financial situation is such that you can just give some money and continue to be no contact, then do it if you want to be the bigger person. But don't worry about it if you'd rather not. Not the a-hole. If his wife truly had changed, she wouldn't be a bully again, and wouldn't try to make your life events hers. And it's always easy to claim that you are family when it's convenient to them, but not make an effort for others. If he wasn't a big part of your life until now, he certainly doesn't have to be after. Life goes on without them and their pressure. You don't need the stress. The brother saying Opie should let the past be in the past? She tried. The bully brought it with her in the present. Not the a-hole. Now for the next story. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to give up my place for my brother and his family? My 29, brother 40, his wife 34 and his 2 kids, 6 male and 7 female, live in with his in-laws in their home. Pandemic has been hard for everyone. Things were getting rocky over at my brother's in-laws' home because they couldn't agree on how to react to COVID. And my brother's in-laws are not taking precautions as they should and got into a huge fight with my brother and sister-in-law. My brother and my sister-in-law starts venting to our family about their word for the kids and wanting to move out, but they don't want to spend rent money. They kept asking if they can come over. We live in a small 1-bed, 1-bath, and after hearing about my brother's in-laws' reckless stories of not taking precautions, I told them it's not safe to come over to my place. Suddenly, I have all my other brother and my mom telling me that I should give up my 1-bed, 1-bath apartment that I'm sharing with my partner and our cat and dogs to my brother's family temporarily and move in with my family or my partner's family. Like they want us to pack 2 bags and leave everything there. Bed, couch, our belongings, appliances, etc. I told them that they're all crazy and ridiculous, and it's the stupidest thing I've heard. Even if I was crazy enough to go along, I share this home with my partner, and I would never want to put him in the position of making him move out of his own home. In addition, we both work from home and are on meetings all day, so no, moving anywhere that's not just our own place is not sustainable. It's not like my brother and his wife are jobless and poor. They have great jobs, and they've made a few investments, including homes. They can easily go rent any homes they want, and I even looked up apartments near me that were the same price. Yet, my brother wants my home because they can go and leave as wanted and not commit to a contract. I've been a bit torn because it's me against my family, and I feel like I'm being selfish, thinking only about my own well-being and not caring about theirs or my nephews/nieces. Am I the a-hole? Edit 1. For those who ask about my family's dynamic, my brother is the golden child. I'm one out of the 5 and he's the only one who's married with kids, hence makes him much more of the center of attention. I didn't even bring it up to my partner because I don't want him to hate my family or think they're crazy. Agree they are in this case. But he sensed that I'm stressing since I've been baking cookies non-stop for 2 nights now. My parents doesn't want to take them in because sister-in-law is an essential worker and goes into work every day. More risk of COVID. I've forgotten left this out, but the suggestion was that I give my nieces and nephews $700 to $1,000 a month while they stay at my place, and my mom and brother will help them with the rest of the rent. So no, I guess they won't be paying for the rent. I don't know why they think my brother and his wife are poor when they have much more money than I do as a couple. Now for the top comments. What the actual hell? No, you're not the a-hole. Your spoiled brother wants to take over your place and not pay anything while he does so. Do you think it's only going to be a couple weeks? He will milk that situation for as long as he can get away with it. Meanwhile, you are paying for a place you're not living in. Top it all off using your and your partner's things. Nope. Don't even engage on the subject anymore. The decision is made. Your mind will not be changed. Bro needs to suck it up and do what everyone else does. Get his own place on his own dime. Jeez. Not the a-hole, and what? They want you to give up your home along with most of your belongings, temporarily, so that your brother's family doesn't have to rent a house? Are you in the Twilight Zone? Not the a-hole. That's the most ridiculous request I've ever heard. Tell them to get their own place or deal with where they are at. They don't get priority over your place because they suddenly want it. Your parents are a-holes too for backing them up. They're choosy beggars and entitled people. No decent person would ask or approve this. My brother and my sister-in-law starts venting to our family about their word for the kids and wanting to move out, but they don't want to spend rent money. Has anyone welcomed them to adult life? I don't want to spend money on rent/mortgage payments either, but I do like having a roof over my head and space that I can control. Not the a-hole, by the way. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my little sister parenting isn't all sunshines and rainbows? My little sister, 26, has been thinking about having children with her husband for a while, but has been really unsure. Our parents and his parents have all been pushing it, and I finally decided to step in to tell them what parenting was actually like. I basically explained that while great things do happen, there's a hell of a lot of rough stuff too. I also explained that they have to be prepared for everything. We have twins in our family. I have 2 sets, and we have brothers who are also 2 sets of twins. So they have to make sure they could handle 2 babies at once, or even 3 as there's a couple sets of triplets here and there. As well as the fact that autism is fairly common in our family. 3 of our brothers are diagnosed, 4 of my children are, and I'm currently working on getting my youngest daughter some form of help. Would they be able to cope with a disabled child? I want to be clear, I wasn't trying to steer them away from children, but so many parents go in expecting only good things and then become resentful of their children when they do normal children things. I also asked them if they'd researched any form of parenting. There's several types and you really should have an idea of how you want to raise your child. Communication is important and all of these things need to be discussed before the baby is created. Other things to take into account like, are you financially stable? Another thing I find is that people don't realize how much children cost because they cost a hell of a lot. You don't get to cop out of being a mother as soon as they turn 18. You will always be a mother no matter how old your child gets. After our in-depth discussion, they've decided a dog would probably be better. They don't think they have the time and have admitted they wouldn't be able to look after 2 babies at once or give a disabled child the support they need. I'm so proud of them for coming to this conclusion because we seriously have to think about the potential life here. Too many people have kids because that's what they're supposed to do. My parents think I've scared them off and are basically calling me a monster because I've terrified them into never having children. I don't think I have, but I do feel a little bad because they're almost totally averse now. I didn't think I was being harsh, just truthful, and I made sure to mention all the amazing things about parenthood too. I'm unsure though. My husband is glad that I told them, because he also really hates the normalized child neglect in today's media, but says I could have had several conversations rather than dumping all the information onto them at once, which I do agree with. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. Absolutely not the a-hole. It is really good that you had a candid talk with them about what it is like. So many people rush into parenthood thinking that it is all good and that there are no hardships. They may not be ready for kids now, and after the talk they have time to financially plan a bit before taking that step, if they decide to. I honestly think more siblings should be like you and just have that honest chat so people don't get in over their heads before they are ready. On a side note, my wife and I are child-free. We took a look at Even Involved and decided that for us, it wasn't worth it. It's not like I don't want them to have children. I love kids. I have several of my own. But my husband and I made sure to plan everything and all our children get the best they can. I think all parents should do that because having another baby doesn't just affect you. It affects your current kids. You're not an a-hole. You gave a reality check when nobody else did. If they weren't ready for children because you told them the truth, then maybe they just shouldn't have children. This can't be overstated. Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole for asking my wife to apologize for having her maid of honor pour water on my mom at the wedding? My mom does have a history of acting out when things aren't about her. Nothing crazy like some of the stuff I've read on here, but she will sulk and be difficult. My mom and my wife have an okay relationship, but they don't really like each other. Before the wedding, my mom came to get ready and was very whiny and lay down on the hotel bed. She wanted everyone else to get their makeup done first and was pretty much falling asleep and getting pissy when she was asked to get up. The bridal party already didn't like my mom because she was demanding at the shower, so the maid of honor filled up a bucket of cold water, but she looked to my wife for permission. My wife nodded and admits that she thought it was funny. Now, pranks are pretty okay in my family, but my mom wasn't going to take a prank from my wife well anyway. Once they threw the water on her, they immediately knew something was wrong. My mom was shivering, teeth chattering, and could barely stand up. Someone ran to get my dad, who wasn't surprised because she apparently hadn't been feeling well for a while and had a doctor's appointment. When we got to the hotel room, he demanded to know why she was wet. My wife told him, and he cussed her out. He took my mom to the emergency room, and she had blood poisoning from an infection. They said she could have died if it had gone untreated much longer. My father currently hates my wife and won't even speak to her, and my mom claims she's over it, but loves to tell everyone how they bullied her when she was near death. I asked my wife to apologize, and she got mad. My wife said she didn't actually pour it, and because of my mom's previous behavior, she thought she was faking. I asked her to just keep the peace, and now she's mad and says that isn't her job, and my dad needs to get over it. Everyone sucks here. Your father should have taken your mother to the hospital long before she got sepsis. Had a bridal party left her to sleep, she'd be dead now. That prank likely saved her life. Your wife shouldn't have had water thrown on your mother because she was being an a-hole about getting ready. They should have just left her. But remember, had they left her, your mother would have died on your wedding day. You suck, because you didn't shut down the horrible behavior from your mother the first time she started acting like a silky toddler because something wasn't about her. Came here to say this. Pouring a bucket of water on someone is way over the line. I wouldn't be surprised if there was more going on between your wife and mother than you saw or were told. It's the nuclear option, and being a bit sulky wouldn't do it. That being said, it's very lucky that it did happen because otherwise she would not have gotten the life-saving treatment she needed. Your dad needs to realize that this prank had a part in saving her life. Honestly, just take the win. She's alive. Everyone sucks here. Everyone sucks here. Literally, everyone. Your mom was being a mood. Your wife let her maid of honor pour a bucket of water on someone just before they attended a wedding. Who the hell does that? But regardless of all the crappiness, the blood poisoning had nothing to do with the prank. She had an infection already and should have been treated. You and your father are wrong to blame your wife for nearly killing your mom. It had nothing to do with the prank, which was stupid, childish, and pointless. Y'all need family therapy to get over this one. Ironically, the prank actually saved his mom's life. Everyone sucks here. The bucket didn't cause the blood poisoning or infection. Your mom wasn't taking care of herself and getting treated, so that's on her. She also sounds really unpleasant, and I don't blame your wife for being frustrated. The wedding should have been about the bride and groom, not groom's mom. Wife should have just handled things like an adult. It's pretty clear that mom wouldn't have found that funny, and pranks should be funny for everyone. Edit. A lot of people are picturing my mom as old and feeble. She was 44, and the water was poured before hair and makeup and the dress going on. Second, I am not going to debate be no contact. Neither my wife nor I want that or think it is warranted. That is our decision to make and not yours. Third, someone said I should add this. Also, my mom has an eating disorder and my wife knows. This was the bridal shower incident where she refused to eat, which they wouldn't let go and tried to force her to eat. My mom ended up shrieking hysterically about she wasn't going to eat and they can't make her. She whined about not wanting to go to the wedding but having to go to make my dad happy, and how much she hates other people's weddings. She demanded someone bring her champagne because she was the mother of the groom. When she was told to buzz off, she whined about they need to get her something because she is faint from having that food shoved in her face. Then she went to the bathroom and called my dad, who made a joke about she should pull a fire alarm and end a shower. She returned and told my wife that my dad was going to set the place on fire, which is not what he said. And that's the end of this video, folks. As always, leave a comment and hit like and subscribe. And if you want more of this content, turn your notification on to get updated on the latest videos. And I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe.